Where are they today?
Today they're hiding because you're here. They're very smart, and then they're not gonna show themselves today.
Why is this particular intersection a hotspot?
A lot of it has been, we cleaned up Corona Plaza and they went out to the side streets. So they needed a place that's also out of the way.
The hotspot getting hotter. Nearly 3 dozen NYPD officers clearing everything out late Monday afternoon.
This is the #1 complaint in his office. Probably 15 to 20 calls a day of basically people come here and set up a flea market. And when you were here a little while ago, you seen how bad it was here before we got here.
Well, how many times are we going to tell you this? How many times are we going to say to you, listen, it is an issue. There are issues going on in certain parts of New York City. We have a crime problem. We have a prostitution problem. We have shoplifting. We have all these issues that are going on. And we've told you one major place in Jackson Heights, New York, which is basically Roosevelt Avenue in that particular territory. We've discussed it before. We've shown you footage. This is a very heavy trafficked area for shop owners, food vendors, and families come here. Prostitutes are working out in the open. The other half of this is you have illegal vendors out there. And then we're talking about Social Security vendors, ID vendors, and also you have vendors out there selling merchandise without a license. A lot of them are illegal migrants. And I'm going to tell you that, yeah, it is. According to the NYPD, they are illegal migrants. None have been arrested as of yet. And people says, well, they're trying to feed their family, and they're trying to survive, because they can't get a job. Let me tell you something. Look at this footage. Go to NYC Walking Show and every other YouTuber that shoots footage from Roosevelt Avenue. Look at the vendors and the product they are selling. Most of this product is stolen. They're stolen from donation bins. They're stolen from grocery stores. They're stolen from supermarkets, department stores, Home Depot, Lowe's, all of the above. And they're selling it on the street. And you say to yourself, well, yeah, how can you be sure? We're sure. We're very sure about that. Because think about this, if they're worried about money, they're trying to make money, where would they get the money to buy the merchandise? They can't get a loan. They can't, These people are working for somebody. Understand that. Just recently, not once, but twice, the NYPD has hit this zone. Just recently. And they have basically shut down a lot of the migrant vendors. The reason they've done it twice in a row is because when they showed up the first time, their spotters spotted the police coming in, and a lot of them ran away. So they came back a second time to nail on them once again. We're going to read this from the New York Post. The NYPD Tuesday clashed with migrant vendors and confiscated their apparently stolen merchandise on a troubled Jackson Heights block known for its illicit open-air market and hookers on the prowl. Yes, they were there too that day. They're not afraid. They're not afraid of the cops. The cops are not going to arrest them. They may shut down the facility itself, but they haven't arrested anyone. Same thing with these vendors. Police raided the spot for a second day in a row after many of the illegal vendors fled, with designated spotters apparently tipped them off that cops were on the way. The raid came after the Post coverage of the spot that had one local store manager complaining of the relentless shenanigans. Now, remember, it's not one store owner. It's pretty much a lot of the store owners. This area, and we discussed this on the video last week, this is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's area. She's not come around this area to handle this situation. She wasn't even there to watch what was going on with the police here. There were other politicians, state assemblymen and women that were here to monitor the situation. People that are involved with the neighborhood. On Tuesday, cops were back at it, converging in a triangular block around Roosevelt Avenue, Elmhurst Avenue, and 91st Street around 1 p.m. to scoop up apparel items from about 10 vendors who had displayed their apparent stolen wares on blankets for sale. It's not only blankets, it's tables as well, because there are a couple of stuff that we've shown on video, in the background that basically, these guys got vans, they got the stuff in there, they're filled with merchandise. Mateo Hipólito Dominguez was thrown to the ground by an officer as cops confiscated his goods after an officer was heard accusing him of brandishing a box cutter. How am I going to hurt a detective? Are you crazy? That effing black guy is crazy, said the man about the police accusation. You can hurt somebody with a box cutter, The dark-skinned officer threw me to the ground over some shoes. I'm over here working to take care of my family. They don't go after people who are actually bad. But we're here to working, and they're trying to F us with us, Dominguez told reporters in Spanish. Understand, do you think that all that money is going into their pocket? No, it's not. It's going back into the cartels. Remember, a lot of these illegal migrants owe money to the cartels for bringing them here to the U.S. And of course, they're going to charge them on top of charging them. They're there to make money for the cartels. This money funds back to illicit trade, drugs, and everything back into their countries, including Central and South America, and also to China. Why are cops always trying to mess with us? What we are doing, we're trying to maintain our families, but they take our stuff, said the man as he moaned in pain from the apparent arm injury suffered in the kerfuffle. Also, remember, folks, if they bought this legally, they would have receipts for it. Remember that. When asked if he had a permit to sell his goods, he said, no, but we're not stealing. No one does anything against the people who are actually stealing, but they come after us. Police also confiscated goods from a vendor, Alexandra Cachara, and took them away in a large white van. All of the trash, everything they recycle, they leave on the ground. But what I think is unfair is when they confiscate things, they assault people. That's not right, she said in Spanish. They assaulted an elderly man, Carchena claimed. 3 police, and the thing about it is, the media was there too. There was the media and some of the YouTubers. 3 police officers grabbed him and kicked out. I felt bad for him, but just like me, he was working and making money. Caracha said that she had not tried to apply for a permit because she doubted that she would be granted. Try. Don't be lazy. I don't think I'm going to get it. Yeah, it's going to take a while. And there are issues with permit on there, but do try. At least you could say, hey, listen, I got the paperwork that I tried and I'm waiting. Before me, my mother had requested a permit 5 years ago so she could informally work. She never got it. Do you think I'm going to have better luck than her? The woman asked. I don't know. You don't know until you try. Mariela Arrero table of jeans and leggings was seized by cops in Monday's raid, even after she tried to show them a certificate of authenticity issued to her by the New York State Department of Taxation and Finance. Issuing that you have a paperwork from the taxation doesn't mean you have a license to sell on the street. Doesn't mean that you bought these legally. If you had a receipt saying, hey, this is the distributor I use, this is on there, they can confirm, you'll get your stuff back. The police took my table, my leggings. I bought leggings, new ones. I'm a single mother with 3 children, and I need the money because I have to pay for my taxes every 3 months. The police take, Arrero said. Several clusters of female prostitutes were also spotted by the post on Roosevelt Avenue in the early afternoon hours. Of course, nothing was done about that. While some table accessories, hawkings like purses, wallets, sunglasses were set up, there was little sign of a thriving market regularly seen at the site. Stolen merchandise stored in vans parked nearby had been put up for resale at a steep discount on the sidewalk. everything from expensive power tools to inexpensive items like mouthwash and diapers. When they tell you they're stealing the Tide detergent, they're stealing mouthwash, they're stealing toothpaste, it's not for them to use, it's for them to sell. You know, there was a story out that there are guys that steal the ice cream and immediately run, you know, when they steal it from the supermarket, they immediately run to the bodegas and try to hawk it off to them. But what's happening now is some of these stores like Gristedes and many others in these neighborhoods are starting to put marks on their products, so they can go around looking at some of the stores and warn them. Say, listen, if you're buying from someone on there, I'm going to tell you this: if you continue buying, we're going to sue, and that's what's going to happen next. Milton Reyes, manager of Me Pharmaceutical in Jackson Heights, said shoplifters would ransack his store and brazenly sell the goods on the sidewalk outside while prostitutes proposition passersby and madams usher them to makeshift brothels. It's relentless, Reyes told the Post Sunday. You should see it on Saturdays. It's so heavy you can't even step on the sidewalk. And we've seen this, you know, like I said, NYC Walking Show and many others on YouTube, that they will show you these videos. They do step out in those areas. There are a lot of doctor's offices right around here, and my customers don't even want to get dropped off. The Post has reached out to the NYPD about this confiscated items. A reporter didn't witness any arrest. Mayor Eric Adams says the water situation has been exacerbated by more than 190,000 migrants that had arrived in New York City over the past 2 years. The Roosevelt Avenue problem, what the paper is pointing out, you know, that is a byproduct in response to a question from the Post reporter. It's sort of. This is something that's been going on for many years now. Let me finish this off. You know, some of the problems that we're facing, you know, in our city is the byproduct of bringing thousands of people to the city and telling them they cannot work. Now, like I said, this is something that's been going on for many, many years now. I mean, I can say going back to the 90s. I'll tell you why. My 10 years in South Florida. Okay, here's the one thing about living in South Florida, which was going for a while. You had groups like gypsy groups and black gangs that were ransacking department stores. They would steal SUVs, crash through well after closing through the gates, and basically run in, grab what they can, and run back out. Now, back in the 90s, what would happen, this is before the internet, basically a lot of this stuff was packed and shipped, because it's South Florida, you know, you're near the port of Miami, they would ship it out to other countries, third world countries, and sell it at a profit. You know, especially jeans. Jeans, they would, you know, any fashion jeans, Levi's, any of that, you know, Tommy Hilfiger, you know, they would take and they would sell overseas. And it continued on. Today, these days, and you saw some of the articles that are out now, you had the woman was arrested out of her home, that she had people stealing stuff from Ultra, and several other beauty places, and she would sell it on Amazon.
At the mansion, the woman in custody is Michelle Mack. According to the search warrant, she's in charge, giving a group of 12 women across the country a list of retail stores to target, along with the retail merchandise. Those Ulta Beauty products then ending up on an Amazon digital storefront called the Online Makeup Store at deep discounts. The search warrant alleges Mack has sold nearly $8 million worth of merchandise on the platform since 2012.
Think about that for a minute. You know, this is what's been going on for quite some time. There need to be full task forces for this, and they need to go after. And the thing is, arrests have to be made. Some of this stuff has to be followed back to where it's coming from. That's the thing about it is, they need to watch where these people go. Where do they pick up their merchandise? Where do they get their merchandise from? There has to be a warehouse. You know, there were those that have been arrested that they've had multiple warehouses. This is where it be nipped in the bud. I mean, we had that story a couple of months ago where there was a one of those storage centers in New York that basically had tons of stuff from China that was like, fake purses and shit like that came out, and they were in these warehouses and they were being shipped out to places throughout New York City, including Chinatown. So think about that stuff that's getting stolen. Where's it going to? It ain't going to people's homes. It's going right into a warehouse somewhere, and someone is distributing it back out and paying next to nothing to these illegal migrants to sell it on the streets. And these are gangs: MS-13, Venezuelan, Nicaraguan, Mexican cartels, China. This is a major situation, and it needs to be resolved, especially in this neighborhood. This is a family-oriented neighborhood. It is a nice place. Good food, good shopping. There are many. And the thing about it is, they said, oh, you're just going after the illegal migrants. Of that. Most of the store owners that are up and down these streets are legal migrant owners. That they've come to this country legally, gotten their green card, they've gotten their citizenship, and they have their own business now on those streets. Don't they deserve to be respected for what they're doing on there? Yes. These people are disrespecting people from their own country. This is not something off of Fifth Avenue or anything like that. And the thing about it is, also, when you look, it's not only in Queens. You also have situations in the Bronx as well, especially with a lot of iPod products, iPhones and stuff like that. Those iPod headphones, those are being, whether they're legitimate or not, they're being sold on the street by African migrants, illegal migrants as well. And you say, well, how do you know? Plenty of YouTube videos that are out there of guys, that are going up and down in those neighborhoods. This is not something you cannot hide. You see this in the videos. So, well, they've gotten legitimate. Legitimate, they wouldn't be on a store corner, especially with Apple products. Apple products is a, high theft issue. And you would not be selling it on the corner on the corner of anywhere. Same thing like with DeWalt drills, and many other things, designer jeans and leggings and stuff like that. So tell me in the comments below your thoughts about this. Don't forget to hit that like, share, and hopefully today's I've earned your subscription. Be sure to check out all of our other videos here on Man with the Show on Cuticast TV. We will see you next time. Thank you for tuning in, and bye-bye now.
Thanks for watching, commenting, and sharing this video. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe, as this helps the reach of this channel. Finally, as a content viewer, you have the ability to help support this channel, as new internet laws around the world will diminish our reach and affect our sponsors. If you choose to help, there are two ways listed in the description below. The first link will lead you to a pay site where you can make a monetary donation. The second will lead you to our gear shop where you can buy shirts, mugs, and other gear. Discounts will be listed on the site. Once again, thank you for watching and your support.